welcome to the Houma Civic Center for National Indoor Football League action as the Houma Bayou Bucks open their 2004 season against the Lake Charles Landsharks. My name's Tommy Chrysan. Glad to have you tuned in with us here on Cox Sports Television. I'm joined tonight in the broadcast by Renee Nadeau. Renee, how are you?
Glad to be here. I know it's football season. I'm glad to be back on Cox Sports with Arena Football.
It is indoor football, and we've got a great matchup. Two teams that are very familiar with each other. They've played each other 4 times in the last couple of years, including a playoff matchup won by Lake Charles last year.
Yeah, Lake Charles really put it on them, but Houma had 2 wins last year, both coming. Well, it had more than 2 wins, but Lake Charles had 2 defeats. Houma beat them both times. So there's a little rivalry here besides proximity of those 2 cities.
A lot of these players know each other. Let's talk about Freddie Harrison, the quarterback for the Landsharks. He's a very athletic guy.
Very athletic, played wide receiver in college. And, he kind of turned the corner in midseason last year, Tommy. In the semifinals against Ohio Valley, he looked like and believe me when I say this, a young Randall Cunningham. He's that athletic, and he can air the ball out. Strong arm. He recognizes defense, and they like what they see in him this year.
And I tell you what, the Houma Bayou Bucks have an experienced guy in Doug Coleman. Here's a guy who's a veteran of the indoor football, threw 5 touchdowns last week on the road in Tupelo for the Bayou Bucks in a losing effort. Doug Coleman's got experience and leadership.
The Wizard of White Castle, and he played in Baton Rouge with Jack Phillips, so the coach knows him very well, and he can bring this team over the top. A lot of veteran savvy.
With Renee Nadeau, I'm Tommy Chrysan. This is Bayou Bucks football right here on Cox Sports Television. And we're about ready for kickoff as the Houma Bayou Bucks play host to the Lake Charles Landsharks. With Renee Nadeau, I'm Tommy Chrysan. Want to thank the Terrebonne Parish Convention and Visitors Bureau for helping sponsor tonight's broadcast for you here on Cox Sports Television. National Indoor Football League. It's the Landsharks and the Bayou Bucks at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center in Houma, Louisiana, down on the Bayou, Renee, and it's good to be here. Great
to be here, Tommy, and exciting, a lot of action. Good look at Jack Phillips Jr., the head coach, the headmaster of the Houma team, and boy, he does an outstanding job. 0-1, looking for his first win of the campaign.
He's no stranger to indoor football. Kicking off for the Landsharks of Lake Charles will be Clint Sanford from Sulphur, Louisiana, played at Northwestern State for the Demons. In return formation for Houma, Sullivan Beard, a former Nichols State Colonel. Here's a low kick that Beard will let bounce around. He'll pick it up at the 5. Beard will return to the right. Beard's got running room into Landshark territory before he's smashed into the wall by Tony Citizen.
Good run back, good field position for the Bayou Bucks.
They'll get the ball at the 19-yard line of Lake Charles. You get a good look right there at Sullivan Beard as the home season is underway for the Bayou Bucks. The quarterback is Doug Coleman, 6', 235-pounder from Baton Rouge. Played his college football at Eastern New Mexico, a veteran of the Indoor Football League. And he'll bring the Bucks out on first down. 1st and 10, Coleman. Over the middle, incomplete. Tried to get it to Darian Chestnut. It'll set up 2nd down.
Need a little crossing pattern, and it was on the mark, just couldn't find the handle. And it'll be interesting to watch. The defensive end, Kendall Shello, is really going to give a handful of Jason Reeves on the right side.
Penalty flag on the play. We'll get the call from Ross Smith. They're going to say inadvertent flag. They'll pick that one up. And Houma will play 2nd and 10 from the Lake Charles 19. Jack Phillips gives a play to Doug Coleman.
The Wizard of White Castle, Tommy. He's been a veteran along many years in the arena football, and there hasn't been many things he hasn't seen.
He's a good athlete as well. 3 receivers left. 1 back in the backfield behind Coleman on 2nd and 10. Coleman looks left, throws it into the end zone, overthrown, incomplete. Tried to get it to Kevin Hurd. Back in the corner of the end zone, overthrown. And Coleman just put too much on the ball. We've got a player shaken up already. That appears to be Devon Lockett, who was lined up in a running back position. He is on the ground and appears to be in some pain. I say that's Lockett. Let me double check that number. Now I'm being told it's Jason Reeves, one of the offensive linemen.
And they can ill afford to lose his services. He was the guy that was matching up with Kendall Shello. He's a right offensive tackle. Shello is a guy with 25 sacks last season, and so he can dominate a game. So you can't be running guys in and out. You need to have somebody really lock into Shello and do a good job.
Don't forget, the Bayou Bucks are back on Cox Sports Television early next month. Join us Sunday, April 4th, as the Bayou Bucks look to take down the Beaumont Drillers in the Bucks' hometown of Houma. The hits, the thrills, and all the action start at 2:30 p.m. right here on Cox Sports Television. Bayou Bucks football.
Following April 3rd, April 4th game time, and they take to the road for a couple of games in Lexington and Missouri Believers, so it's going to be kind of an interesting schedule. But they finish this year with 3 home games, which is really going to be a big help down the stretch.
That is Reeves, who is shaken up for the Bucks. And he'll get a nice hand from the crowd here at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. They were replaced in the lineup by Ryan Rogers, the former offensive lineman for Nichols State. Rogers, number 52, will check in. And it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Bucks. They're at the Lake Charles 19-yard line. It's a 50-yard field. The 25-yard line is the midfield stripe. You cannot punt the football. You either go for it or try a field goal. We'll see what Coach Jack Phillips and Doug Coleman, the quarterback, can come up with here on 3rd and 10. And they'll break the huddle, and they chop the clock in. 3 receivers left. 3rd and 10. Coleman drops. Steps up, fires it. Caught. First down inside the 10-yard line. On that reception, Kevin Hurd.
And Hurd does a curl right on the mark. Great delivery by Coleman. Right in the breadbasket right here as a curl, and turns it upfield. Nice first down pickup at the 6-yard line, and great two-hand football right there with Coleman and Hurd.
Kevin Hurd does a good job. It's 1st and goal. Bucks at the Landsharks 6-yard line. Knocking on the door here early in the first quarter. 3 receivers right. Coleman wants to throw under pressure, fires it, ball batted around, incomplete. The first Landshark to get his hand on it was Warren Lett, the linebacker, and then it bounced around. St. Junius couldn't come up with it. Incomplete.
3 white jerseys. Tommy had a shot at it, couldn't come up with it, and a lot of bunching going back there, a lot of bodies, and Kendall Shello, a key component of that. You see right here, Coleman buying time, throwing it 2, 3, 4. In fact, St. Junius had a couple of shots at it. Couldn't come down, couldn't find the handle, incomplete.
Tried to get it to Clint Schexnayder, but it didn't work, so it's 2nd and goal. Bayou Bucks at the Lake Charles 6-yard line.
Coleman played for Lake Charles at one time.
Chestnut in motion. Here's a pitch. Running right for about a yard or two is Jarvis Dunn, a 5'6", 170-pounder. He's quickly wrapped up by St. Junius and Whitehead for Lake Charles. It'll set up a 3rd and goal.
They're trying to go wide with Jarvis Dunn, and he's real quick, cat quick, and got a little bit of Barry Sanders in him. Not really strong runner, but a young guy at a Southwest Community College, Tommy, and just couldn't punch it in. Got about a couple of yards on that carry.
We'll give him a gain of 2. It's 3rd and goal from the 4. 3 receivers left, Chestnut, Schexnayder, and Hurd. Dunn in the backfield behind quarterback Doug Coleman. Coleman drops straight back, flips right side. Dunn's got it, makes a move, touchdown, Bayou Bucks. Just over 3 minutes off the clock, and the Bayou Bucks are on the scoreboard. Extra point pending from kicker Chris Stropolo.
And you can see Dunn does a little comeback right here. Good move right there on a pair of defensive backs, mainly Darnell Lee, and into the end zone untouched. You got him coming in the wrong direction, and boy steps into the end zone. And
Drew Email will hold. Stropolo on the left-footed sidewinder puts the kick up, and he splits the post. Our score: Houma 7, Lake Charles nothing. With Renee Nano, that was an impressive opening possession. Got the good kickoff return from Sullivan Beard. Converted on a 3rd and 10. Get the 4-yard touchdown pass. Doug Coleman to Jarvis Dunn. Houma comes out, puts points on the board with the first possession.
And you know, a lot of that has to go back to Joe Clark, who spent 6 years in USFL Europe. NFL Europe, rather, and he spent some time at quarterback coach with the Green Bay Packers. He implemented his pass-oriented offense, Tommy, and you can see how much success they had moving the ball down the field on that passing attempt. And, of course, that last pass was successful, but to draw first blood in a game like this, of this magnitude, could be huge.
It is the home opener for Houma. They were defeated last week by Tupelo. Lake Charles, this is their first game of the season. They had the bye in week 1. Kicking off for the Houma Bayou Bucks will be Chris Strapola. Get a good look at Chris, the former Nickel State Colonel, left-footed sidewinder. In return formation for Lake Charles, number 10, Camille Baptiste, a very dangerous athletic guy from Carencro, originally an LSU signee. So Strapola will kick it off. Kevin Marlborough from Opelousas is also back to in return formation. And here is Baptiste from 2 yards deep. He is wrapped up and dropped just over the 15-yard line. Nice open field tackle by Andre Reeves.
Andre Reed, a good defensive end, used to play for the Mississippi Fire Dogs back in 2002. Good on special teams.
1st and 10, Lake Charles from their own 18-yard line. Their quarterback, Freddie Harrison, 6'3", 190-pounder from Westlake, which is right outside of Lake Charles. Played his college ball for the Demons of Northwestern State up in Natchitoches. Harrison, a very athletic guy, as we talked about in the pregame. Baptiste split out right. Here's a pitch and a running play to Byron Allen, who's immediately decked behind the line by Andre Reed with a little help from Drew Email.
Well, Andre Reed makes the first 2 tackles of this game, so he's really off to a great start and kind of shuts off that outside, scraping to the outside, and Reed kept his outside shoulder free, Tommy, and took away the outside opportunity for Byron Allen.
Reed is 6'3", 270, played his college ball for the Jackson State Tigers. Loss of 2 on the play. It's 2nd and 12, and Harrison will get in the shotgun. Send a couple of guys in motion. Play action. Harrison fires incomplete on the right side, intended for Marlborough.
And Marlborough's a guy you want to get in single coverage. He's very elusive, great speed, can bust it open, and that pass was just forced and didn't find its mark.
3rd down. Again, in National Indoor Football League, you don't punt. You either go for it or you try a field goal. So it's a 3rd and 12. And the Bayou Buck defense will dig in. Shotgun formation for Freddie Harrison. Harrison moves to his left, will run. Harrison's going to be hit by Reed with a little help from Timothy Betts, and it's short of the 1st down.
Kept Harrison bottled up that time, and Dorsey put the brakes on him. And outstanding job by the defense, which really has to play a big game for the Houma Bayou Bucks. That's something that they need to step up. Their defense kind of gave a lot of points up last week, 58 points, and so big stop here if they can hold them from this field goal.
Sanford on to attempt the kick. This will be a 43-yard field goal attempt. Harrison holds. The kick is high. It's long enough, and it is good. 43-yard field goal by Clint Sanford, and we've got a flag on the play. Hold the phone.
Making another opportunity here.
If it's a 5-yard penalty, it would not be enough for a first, so they may decline and take the 3 points. Offsides, defense. They'll take the field goal, a 43-yarder from Clint Sanford, and we have a 7-3 Houma lead over Lake Charles. With Renee Nato, I'm Tommy Kreis, and we're back after this pause on Cox Sports Television. 7-3 Houma on top of Lake Charles here. 9 minutes, 15 seconds to go, 1st quarter. The Houma Terrebonne Civic Center, and Clint Sanford has just kicked a 43-yard field goal for the Landsharks. He'll tee it up, kick it off. Deep back in return formation for Houma. Sullivan Beard, 5'11", 175-pounder, played for the Nickel State Colonels right up the highway in Thibodaux.
Converted from wide receiver here to defensive back, and done a pretty good job with the Bucks.
We're about set. I don't know what the officials are waiting on, but they're waiting on something. Don't forget, join Cox Sports Television Thursday the 26th when the Hornets play at Atlanta. Pregame 6 o'clock, 6:30 tip-off. That's Hornets basketball right here on Cox Sports Television, your exclusive network of the New Orleans Hornets. That's Thursday the 26th when they're on the road to take on the Atlanta Hawks. Again, the pregame's at 6, tip-off at 6:30. Hornets basketball right here on Cox Sports Television.
We look at the Bayou Bells, anywhere from Jeanneret to Chalmette. 18 young ladies do a great job.
Jeanneret to Chalmette. I like that, Renee. Being a Chalmette native myself.
I know, Tommy. That's why I threw it in.
I like that. I got to tip my hat to you. All right, we're ready to go. Sanford's about to put his right foot into it. Line drive. That'll come down to Beard, 4 yards deep. Beard to the center of the field. Running room. Beard is tackled in the open field by Anthony Porter. Nice return by Sullivan Beard.
Great field position as Sullivan Beard, 3 yards deep in the end zone, taking it back. Good blocking. Nice crease right here. Finds a hole. Stop at the 22-yard line, but not before the damage had been done.
1st and 10 for Houma from the Lake Charles 22-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Doug Coleman, the quarterback, under center. Hands off to Dunn, nowhere to go. He stopped immediately. That tackle made by Warren Lett. Correction, Warren Lott.
And you know, Lott and Shello man those outside positions, those outside line positions for the Landsharks, and are devastating. You know, Shello had a tryout with the Indianapolis Colts, and Lott is a master. He's a monster defensive end, and boy, it's really tough running on the outside of those guys.
We'll call it no gain, 2nd and 10 for the Bayou Bucks. Coleman again under center. Scheck-Snyder in motion. Pitch to Dunn. He'll go left. Short gain, 1, maybe 2, before he stopped on the far side in the wall. That tackle made by Anthony Whitehead.
Matt DeRoche trying to get a block on the outside, and Lott, along with Myron Turner, really turned it back in and kind of slowed things down. Didn't give Dunn an opportunity to get a good head of steam on that last play.
3rd down and 7, we'll call it, from the Lake Charles 19-yard line. Coleman still under center. He drops, he looks, fires right side, Dunn at the 5-2-1. Does not get in. He's stopped just short of the goal line, but it'll be 1st and goal. Touchdown! The ref put his hands up and says that Jarvis Dunn got into the end zone.
Outstanding play by Coleman, buying time, going through his progressions, Tommy. Finds Dunn, puts his head into Anthony Porter, and broke the plane. A 2nd touchdown from that combo. And boy, I tell you what, the Bayou Bucks are off to a great start as Dunn has really lit things up.
Some really good 2nd and 3rd effort by Dunn, as we mentioned. Only 5'6", 170 pounds, but he found a way to find the goal line on that one, and the extra point is pending for the Bayou Bucks as they have struck again here in the 1st quarter. Penalty on Lake Charles will be assessed after the kickoff, a face mask penalty. So Stropolo, who hit his extra point a short time ago, about a little over 4 minutes ago, he'll try again. Email will hold. Stropolo puts it up, and he splits the post. With 7 minutes to go, 1st quarter. Our score, Houma 14, Lake Charles 3. Another very impressive offensive set, Renee, for the Houma Bayou Bucks.
Well, one thing that's going to be a key to this game, Tommy, is the offensive line must give time to Doug Coleman, which they did on the last drive, particularly on the last scoring play. And so if Doug Coleman does have time, he's got the quarterback savvy to find the weaknesses in the defense.
7 minutes to go, 1st quarter in Houma, Louisiana. Glad to have you tuned in to Cox Sports Television tonight for Houma Bayou Bucks football. They play host to the Lake Charles Landsharks. Stropolo will kick it off. You get a good look at number 10. In return formation, Camille Batiste and Kevin Marlborough for Lake Charles.
This is going to be a very vital offensive series for the Landsharks. They find themselves trailing by 11 points, but have some firepower.
Marlborough from the 12. Marlborough's dropped near the midfield stripe by Darian Chestnut. And Lake Charles, who had to settle for a field goal in their initial possession, will get possession number 2.
Good look at Chestnut right there. No college experience, but he got cut a couple of years in a row. Shows persistence pays off. Tommy came back after a couple of years, finally made the team in his first game, caught 3 touchdowns against Tupelo last season.
The ball will be placed at the 22-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lake Charles from that point. Again, their quarterback, Freddie Harrison, 6'3", 190-pounder. He'll bring the Landsharks to the line. Drop the snap. He's going to go forward for a gain of about 1 before he is dropped by Timothy Betts and Roger Green.
Poor exchange from quarterback, center to quarterback. Kind of really screwed that play up before it got started. And Freddie Harrison, all he could do was just run with the ball.
Pickup of a couple of yards, we'll call it 2. So it's 2nd and 8 for Lake Charles. 6 minutes to go, first quarter. Penalty flags fly, and they kill it before the snap. We'll see what the call is from the official.
Andre Reed a little bit quick in the backfield.
Penalty will work against Houma. And it'll be a 3-yard penalty.
Good look at the coaching staff. Tough conference, the Atlantic Conference South with the Beaumont Drillers, Houma, Lake Charles Landsharks, the Tupelo Fire Ants, and the Waco Marshals. Very competitive division.
2nd and 5 as the Landsharks are in Bayou Buck territory. Harrison pumps, tucks it, and goes. First down and a couple of more yards before Betts strings him down with a little help from Andre Reed for Houma.
Well, that play was a design running play, as you can see, and really froze the defensive players, allowed them, it gave them a little cushion, a little running room, and nice little pickup for Freddie Harrison. Timothy Betts learning that linebacker position after playing defensive end at Troy State. Pretty good job defensively.
1st and 10 for Lake Charles. Freddie Harrison will get in the shotgun. Harrison, shuffle pass ahead to Allen, who will gain about 7 or 8 yards before he's belted down by Timothy Betts. Betts is a big guy, 6'2", 240. Looks to be very athletic out there as well.
Yeah, you know, he plays very well in a small area, Tommy, and great reactions. Again, he's learning that defensive end position, or learning that linebacker position. He had a tryout with the Tennessee Titans, and so he's very, very proficient with his defensive skills.
2nd down and 3 for Lake Charles from the 9-yard line of Houma. Byron Allen, right side. Tackled again by Betts. We ought to just record tackle by Betts and get the guys in the truck to play that, because he's going to make a lot of tackles tonight.
He's approaching a double-digit number already, and we're 4 minutes remaining in the first stanza. But a big goal line stand here is
3rd down and about 2. 3rd and 1, we'll call it. 3rd and 1. Harrison under center. Byron Allen hitting the backfield by Reed and dropped for a loss. Andre Reed with the play for the Bayou Buck defense, and they will force another kicking situation here for the Landsharks. 2nd time in a row that the Houma defense has forced a field goal situation. As you see Reed giving Allen nowhere to go, did not even get back to the line of scrimmage. So Andre Reed, like Timothy Betts, has come to play some football tonight.
Great penetration and recognition by Andre Reed. He's the quickest along the defensive line, second in sacks in the league last year. Really came forward and made a big stop and forced him into a field goal.
Yeah, Sanford will attempt a 25-yard field goal. He was good from 43 a little bit earlier, and this one is good from 25. So Sanford's second field goal of the night. Our score, Houma 14, Lake Charles 6 with Renee Nadeau. My name's Tommy Kreis, and this is Bayou Bucks football on Cox Sports Television. Bayou Bucks on top of the Landsharks. A couple of field goals from Clint Sanford accounting for the Landsharks 6 points. A couple of touchdowns from Jarvis Dunn and extra points from Stropola get the Bayou Bucks to 14. 2 minutes, 52 seconds to go first quarter here. From Houma, Louisiana, glad to have you tuned in to Cox Sports Television. Join Cox Sports Television next Saturday for exciting arena football action. Watch as the Carolina Cobras take on the Voodoo in New Orleans. The coverage starts with the Voodoo tonight at 6:30, followed by the opening kickoff at 7 o'clock. That's New Orleans Voodoo Arena Football on Cox Sports Television.
Their last two possessions, Tommy, the Doug Coleman and Jarvis Dunn combination was deadly. Produced a couple of touchdowns with a 14-6 lead, 2:52 to go. And I'll tell you what, they're really hot. It looks like this passing attack that Joe Clark installed, this pass-oriented offense to replace the running attack of 2003, has been very successful in this home opener.
Sanford will kick it off for the Landsharks. Sullivan Beard again in return formation for Houma. Stands right near his goal line. Beard, number 25, has had a couple of good returns tonight. Here's another chance he'll get from 7 yards deep. Center to field. Beard leaping out over the 20-yard line before the hole closes up. Warren Lott, among others, tripping him up. So we'll get our third look at the Houma offense tonight. They'll play 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. Leading 14-6 as we get a look at Beard, taking it right up the center of the field, reading his blockers, decides to just put his head down and leap forward and get as much real estate as he can.
Sullivan Beard giving the offense great field position at the 21-yard line, and boy, he's hit that crease pretty hard. Evaded a couple of would-be tacklers. First down, Doug Coleman at the 21.
Troy Davis, the big center from Grambling, out over the ball for Houma. Coleman drops to throw. Coleman looks, goes long up the right side, looking for Beard. Hurd, incomplete near the goal line. Coverage provided down there deep by St. Junius. Then it'll be 2nd and 10.
Just a fly pattern by Beard and by Hurd rather, and Doug Coleman just overshot the mark a little bit. 2nd down. The Hurd played with Todd Pinkston at Southern Mississippi, now with the Philadelphia Eagles out of Emporia, Mississippi. Kevin Hurd, great, well-rounded athlete here with the Bayou Bucks.
We'll see what the Bucks can do here on 2nd and 10. Coleman to throw. Fires incomplete, right side. Tried to get it to Darian Chestnut down near the 10-yard line. Coverage again by Warren St. Junius. And it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Houma Bayou Bucks.
Chestnut running that sideline pattern. Just as he made his cut, Coleman delivered the ball a little bit too wide. Incomplete, and if you don't hit positive yards in this next possession, it'll be the first time that the defense has held the offense in check by Bayou Bucks.
We're approaching the 1-minute mark here in the first quarter. 14-6, Houma on top. They play a 3rd and 10 from their own 22-yard line. Coleman looks for Schexnayder down near the goal line. Incomplete, just out of the reach. It's 4th down.
And a local kid from Vanderbilt Catholic, Clint Schexnayder, just couldn't come down with it over this outstretched fingertips. Boy, that'd have been a big-time catch here as Coleman drops back. Very good protection once again. Delivers the ball over the right shoulder. Wow, just couldn't pull it in.
Stropola will attempt a field goal. This will be a 45-yarder. Drew Email will hold Stropolo. will attempt a 45-yard field goal. Warren St. Junius is in return formation if the ball comes off the net. Ryan Rogers will snap it. Here's the kick. It's long enough, and it is wide to the right. So Stropolo does not convert, and with 24 seconds to go in the first quarter, Lake Charles will take over after the missed field goal attempt. So Lake Charles' defense, after allowing 2 touchdowns in the first 2 possessions, comes up with the stop in possession number 3.
And you know, the thing about Lake Charles, Tommy, is their coach stressed in pregame that they need to stay with the scheme, not deviate. Roger Green needs to have a big game. The one thing that I got to credit Bayou Bucks is they've kept Kendall Shello in check. He has not pressured Doug Coleman very much this game.
First down for Lake Charles. They get the ball on their own 5-yard line after the missed field goal attempt. Clock is running with 15 seconds to go first quarter. This could very well be our final play of quarter number 1. Freddie Harrison has the Landsharks on the line. And actually, I think they will let the clock expire and flip in. So that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter with Renee Nadeau. My name's Tommy Krysan. Our score at the end of 1 is Houma 14, Lake Charles 6. We're back with more Bayou Bucks football after this pause on Cox Sports Television. The Bucks on top of the Lake Charles Landsharks. We mentioned that these 2 teams are not strangers in the National Indoor Football League. They've hooked up on a couple of occasions in the last 2 seasons. They played 5 times. Lake Charles leads 3 games to 2. They split the regular season series last year, but there was a playoff game held in Lake Charles last year. First round of the 2003 playoffs. Lake Charles sent Houma packing home 44-19. So Houma would like to repay that game here tonight at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. That one was played in the Lake Charles Civic Center last May. I was on hand for that ball game, and it was dominated by Lake Charles, and they advanced in the National Indoor Football League playoffs. Then we get a look at some youngsters enjoying the night out here with Bayou Bucks football. And if nothing else, they get to dance with the Bayou Bells down there.
And Tommy, let me tell you something.
Not a bad idea.
You know, they were the National Indoor Football Dance Team of the Year back in 2002. So a lot of quality hips there out on the field.
We need to figure out a way, Renee, where you and I can dance with the Bayou Bells and let these little kids come announce the game for a little while.
We'd lose our job.
I'd trade in a minute. All right, well, we're going to start the second quarter, and the Lake Charles Landsharks will now move left to right on your screen in the white uniforms with the pewter helmets and pants. Of course, the Houma Bayou Bucks in the gold helmets, green jerseys, blue pants. We've still got some dancing going on as you get a look at the crowd here at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. Place holds about 3,500 people. Not quite that many here tonight, but a nice crowd on hand for the home opener of the Bayou Bucks.
The thing you got to like about arena football, indoor football, is it really plays up to the crowd. A lot of fan involvement. You're so close to the players, and this is an outstanding venue for Bayou Bucks football.
First and 10, Lake Charles from their own 5-yard line. Again, their quarterback, Freddie Harrison. They've had 2 offensive possessions. They've only been able to muster up a pair of Clint Sanford field goals. So we'll see what they can do in possession number 3 here after their defense just stopped the Bayou Bucks on their 3rd possession. Sooner or later, we will start the second quarter, I can assure you.
A little bit of a Tampa Bay Buccaneers look. The Lake Charles Landsharks with their uniforms. You mentioned the pewter. And we look at Freddie Harrison.
Couple receivers in motion right. Harrison with the hard count. Pumps will run it up the middle of the field. Harrison's dropped at the 10-yard line. David Dorsey, former Tulane Green Wave linebacker, made that stop.
Well, he stepped up and filled on that last play and really did a great job from his linebacker position, formerly with the Louisiana Hurricanes. He stepped up, little hot tackle here, hat on torso, really made him pay in the stomach. Put the helmet in. His progress stopped at that point.
Gain of 5 at 2nd and 5 for Lake Charles, just underway, second quarter. There's an inside handoff to Batiste, who will be hit and dropped by Timothy Betts. He was slightly tripped up by Alex Coleman. Betts finished him off for no gain.
And Alex Coleman actually made him go a little wider than he wanted to with an inside charge, and Betts finished him off, as you mentioned, really with a big stop, and that is defensive responsibility, playing their role, the schemes and everything, and it pays off when everybody is patient and does what they're supposed to do, and great example right there.
That'll set up 3rd and 5 for Lake Charles. From their own 10-yard line. Harrison throws in the flat to Marlboro, who'll get about a yard before Reed and company wrap him up and bring him down. Drew Email and Roger Green also in on that stop, and it's a 4th down situation for the Landsharks, as we'll give Marlboro a gain of 2 on that quick hit and pass to the right.
Try to throw a quick hitch to him, and the Bayou Bucks sniffed it out and stopped it before progress could get going, and defense really turns in another good effort.
Well, Sanford is 2 out of 2 on field goals tonight, and he will now attempt a 53-yarder, which is a horse of a different color. He has made a 43-yarder and a 25-yarder tonight. Freddie Harrison will hold. Major Griffin will snap it. Here's the kick by Sanford, and it's going to be a little short and returned by Sullivan Beard. Beard will run right and be pushed into the wall on the far side by Tony Citizen. And it's a stop for the Houma defense, and they'll get the ball back, leading 14-6. And we'll see if Doug Coleman and company, who were stopped on their last possession, Renee Nadeau, can go back to putting points on the board for Houma. They'll get it 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The thing you got to be excited about Doug Coleman as a Bayou Bucks fan is very quarterback savvy, doesn't get rattled. His experience really comes out in his play. And the Wizard from White Castle has led him to a couple of touchdown marches. The first 2 possessions was held in check last time. But,
the White Castle Bulldogs, if I remember correctly. Isn't that their nickname now?
Yeah, but they call him the Wizard of White Castle.
Okay, Doug. 1st and 10, Houma. Just over 12 minutes remaining, 2nd quarter. Here's the handoff to Dunn, right side. He gets nothing. Barely back to the line of scrimmage, if that. Kendall Shello, along with Darnell Lee, make the stop.
And Locke got in there real quick, so you got all 3 guys involved in that tackle. That defensive line was tough running for the Bayou Bucks. Big stop that time for the Lake Landshark defense. And Shello, we talked about, boy, he's really got some tremendous potential. Played for the Philadelphia Soul in Arena 1 football earlier, and he spent some time with the Indianapolis Colts.
Coleman, play action under pressure from Shello. Gets away, fires it long, looking for Hurd. Incomplete at the goal line. Pretty good improvisation there by Coleman, as Kendo Shello can't believe he got away. I want to remind you, we're here at the home of the Terrebonne Civic Center, South Louisiana's favorite showplace and proud home of the Bayou Bucks. They invite you to come by and enjoy a football game or many other events held here, like Broadway shows, family shows, sporting events, concerts, and much more. For more information or a list of upcoming events, visit their website at www.houmaciviccenter.com. Great facility as we get a look at Jack Phillips, the head coach for the Houma Bayou Bucks. He'll see what he can come up with here on 3rd and 10. Coleman would rather throw than run. Gets it loose to Hurd. Complete. 1st down and more. Into Landshark territory at the 20-yard line before St. Junius can run him down. Good job by Doug Coleman.
On Hurd with a little look like a Joe Horn as he crosses on a crossing pattern. Doug Coleman again with good time. The offensive line giving him a lot of time. He delivers the pass on a cross to Kevin Hurd. Makes things happen with the ball under his arm. 1st down, Bayou Bucks.
They'll have it at the Landshark 20-yard line and play 1st and 10 from that point as we approach the 10-minute mark here in the 2nd quarter. Doug Coleman under center. 6 foot 233. Coleman, draw play. Dunn, nice move. Close to the 1st down as a penalty flag flies in the spot where you usually see holding on the offensive line. We'll get the call from the referee crew. Holding, offense.
And they were pointing at Troy Davis. At least the defense was. He may have been the culprit.
Troy Davis, 6'3", 300-pounder, played at Grambling State. Also is a member of the Baton Rouge Blaze AF2 team a couple of summers ago in Baton Rouge. They will take that penalty. Lake Charles will, and move Houma back a little bit. It's a 5-yard step off back to the midfield stripe, which in the National Indoor Football League is the 25-yard line.
Got to credit Matt DeRoche, Troy Davis, and Ryan Rogers, the offensive line for the Bayou Bucks, done a very creditable job giving Doug Coleman ample time to deliver his passes. One whole penalty. That's the first penalty that have been assessed. Pretty good job with 9:35 to go here in the second quarter.
1st and 15. Coleman rolls right. Coleman pointing, throws, complete to Scheck-Snyder. Scheck-Snyder will pick up 8 yards down to the 17-yard line before he's wrapped up and dropped by Anthony Porter.
Once again, the Vanderbilt Catholic, former Vanderbilt Catholic star, comes up with a big grab in front of the home folks as number 11 dials number 81. Buying time, good block there. And
in fact, the Vanderbilt Catholic band performed the national anthem before tonight's game and did a fine job. So we tip our hat to the Vanderbilt Catholic High School marching band.
How appropriate, he makes a big catch in front of the home folks.
2nd down and 7. Coleman wants to throw. Sets, fires, picked off, dropped by Lott. The ball hit Kevin Hurd's hands, bounced in the air. Warren Lott looked like he had it for a split second for the Landsharks, but then it's ruled incomplete, and that's probably the correct call, and it'll set up 4th down. And Jack Phillips will have to make a decision. You see the pass batted into the air. Lott couldn't hold it. In fact, Hurd may have even had a little something to do with taking it out of Lott's hands as we get a different angle. Good work by our camera guys. Ball's incomplete. Looks like Jack Phillips is going to go for it. Oh, I'd take that back. It's 3rd down. That's right. It was a penalty on 1st. I'll stand corrected. 3rd and 7 for Houma. Blitz, Coleman under pressure, directing traffic, throws incomplete to Scheck-Snyder at about the 10, and now it's 4th down. I'll get it right for you this time. And I believe we'll see Chris Strapola come on. Nope, Jack Phillips says hold on. Doug Coleman wants to go for it, but that's the mentality of just about any quarterback, right? Right, Renee? We'll go for it. 4th and 80. Let's go for it, Coach. We got to call the 81-yard play. Let's make it.
You know, Jack Phillips has a lot of confidence in that offense. He is going to go for it. And unfortunately, Clint Scheck-Snyder couldn't have that 6'3" frame come down with the last reception. They're going to go for it.
Well, they got to get inside the 10-yard line, so they need at least 7 yards to maintain possession here. 4th down, Bayou Bucks. Coleman rolls right. Shello's chasing him. Coleman's going to run it. He's not going to get it. Credit Shello with the pressure and the tackle by Myron Turner. And it'll be Lake Charles Landsharks football when we return. 7:11 to go in the second quarter. Houma on top of Lake Charles, 14-6 with Renee Naito. I'm Tommy Chrysan on Cox Sports Television. With Renee Naito, I'm Tommy Chrysan. Renee, the defense been doing the job here since a couple of early touchdowns by Houma, a couple of early field goals by Lake Charles, and it's been defense since then. We'll see what happens now with 7:11 to go, second quarter.
And they've held a high-powered offense, the Lake Charles Landsharks, and Freddie Harrison to a mere 6 points on a pair of field goals.
Officials are holding up play for some unknown reason here.
I will say this, we have one of the best crews you're going to find anywhere, high school, college, or professional football. Get Ross Smith, Tony Meyer, and company out there.
Another look at the Bayou Bell. I love it when the cameramen find the good-looking women in the stand.
They deserve that camera work.
Oh, yeah. If I was the cameraman, that's what I'd be doing.
That's what I'd be looking at.
Here we go, 1st and 10. Lake Charles from their own 18-yard line. Here's the handoff, Byron Allen left side. He's got running room. He's got a 1st down and more before he's wrestled down by Roger Green, but it's a Lake Charles 1st down.
Byron Allen waiting for him to break a tackle. You know, a guy they compare favorably with his vision to a Marshall Falk. Look, good vision, good cut right here, full speed. And Roger Green, the anchor of the defensive line, with good speed upfield and good pursuit angle, gets him from behind and stops him. But Byron Allen with a nice pickup 1st down.
He gained 11 yards and got the 1st down to the Houma 21-yard line. Where the Landsharks will play 1st and 10, 6.5 minutes to go. And Lake Charles wants a timeout. Quarterback Freddie Harrison didn't like what he saw, and he calls for a timeout. give us a chance to remind you that the Bayou Bucks are back on Cox Sports Television early next month. Join us Sunday, April 4th, as the Bayou Bucks look to take down the Beaumont Drillers in the Bucks' hometown of Houma. The hits, the thrills, and all the action start at 2:30 on April the 4th, right here on Cox Sports Television.
There's a difference of opinion in where Freddie Harrison anticipated Kevin Marlborough to go, and Marlborough, of course, the wide receiver in motion. So they work things out with the timeout. 6:28 to go here, Tommy. And, you know, you look at this Lake Charles offense, potentially a team that can put 70 points on the scoreboard, and of course a lot of game left to be played, but just held in check thus far by a really stout Bayou Bucks defense.
Both coaching staffs get some instruction in. They're allowed to go out on the field into the huddle in the NIFL. You see Jack Phillips giving some instructions to his Bayou Buck defense. Phillips played at Alcorn State up in Lorman, Mississippi. The draft choice in the NFL. No stranger to indoor football as a player, an assistant coach, and a head coach, and a really great guy. Always enjoyed chances to visit with Jack Phillips, the head coach of the Houma Bayou Bucks.
A three-time All-American and spent some time with the Kansas City Chiefs.
On 1st and 10, there's a swing pass to Allen right side. He'll be wrestled down by Andre Reed after a short gain. David Dorsey also in there to help out on the stop.
And that's the thing you have to watch about Freddie Harrison. He's very astute at picking up the blitz or picking up the pursuit. And those little swing passes, screens and such will really slow that rush down really quickly. And nice run by Byron Allen.
Picked up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5. For the Landsharks, under 6 minutes to go now, second quarter. Harrison fires left side, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Michael Castile, former McNeese State Cowboy, and it'll be 3rd and 5 for Lake Charles.
That was a quick timing pairing, a quick hitter to Castile, and who runs a 4.4 40. Used to excel in the high hurdles, and McNeese just couldn't come down with it. Just a hair off on the delivery of pass to Castile.
There are a dozen former McNeese State Cowboys on this Lake Charles roster, and that's pretty unique to the NIFL. The city that the team is in has a lot of the local college guys, as Houma has a lot of guys from Nicholas State. Harrison, play action, fires over the middle, incomplete. Down near the 10-yard line, he tried to get it to Castile, and it'll be 4th down, and the Houma defense once again does a fine job.
A little play action look, froze the defense quickly, but he had to deliver the ball before he really wanted to, before he made his cut. Castile couldn't come down with it as he threw into a herd of green jerseys, incomplete.
We've got another timeout on the field. The Lake Charles Landsharks have called timeout. We've got 4:45 to go, second quarter, from the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. With Renee Nato, I'm Tommy Chrysan. Houma on top of Lake Charles, 14-6. We're back after this pause on Cox Sports Television. Harrison's going to be sacked way back in the backfield. Tremendous pressure by Andre Reed and Alex Coleman. Flags are flying. Some intentional grounding, and Freddie Harrison. That play never did get developed, as Reed and Coleman did a super job for the Houma defense. As you take a look,
that's about 500, almost 600 pounds in pursuit, and he's got to just get rid of it. Not a really wise decision.
He tried to throw it to one of the Bayou Bells. That's not going to work.
Intentional grounding.
So the defense for Houma does the trick. And Doug Coleman in the offense is going to get another crack here with about 4.5 minutes to go, second quarter.
Great relentless pursuit from Andre Reed, and Alex Coleman just wouldn't give up. Fought off and credit also the defensive backfield, Tommy, with keeping those wide receivers in check and not allowing one to break free so Freddie Harrison could complete a pass. And Freddie Harrison has really done a good job since midseason last year recognizing weaknesses in the defense, and there were no weaknesses in that last series.
1st and 10, Homer from the Lake Charles 23. Coleman hands off to Dunn. He goes nowhere. He's hit and dropped, no gain. First hit came from Warren Lott. He was finished off by St. Junius and Lee, but Lott with the initial hit, we'll call it no gain, and it's 2nd and 10.
The Lott came through pretty hard on the defensive line. Good penetration, but he bounced off the would-be tackler. No gain, but have things well in hand as we go into the 4-minute mark, and once again a 14-6 advantage to Houma.
Coleman under center, wants to throw. Pumps, fires it over the middle. Caught by Lockett. Very close to a first down. Nice catch by Lockett in some traffic. Devon Lockett. And they're going to say first down. He got enough, so give him a gain of 10.
Lockett finding a crease in that zone defense, just sits down, and Coleman finds him. 3 tacklers bring him to the ground, but not before the damage caused. First down at the 12-yard line, and another good drive going, engineered here by Doug Coleman.
We'll keep an eye on the clock for you. It shows 3 minutes to go. In the final couple of minutes, it'll be a regular football stop clock. And now we've got a timeout. We've got a timeout on the field as Houma has called a timeout. We'll tell you about the next Bayou Bucks broadcast. They'll be back on Cox Sports Television early next month on April the 4th at 2:30 p.m. The Houma Bayou Bucks as they look to take down the Beaumont Drillers in the Bucks' hometown of Houma. The hits, the thrills, and all the action start at 2:30 April the 4th on Cox Sports TV. Bayou Bucks football.
Great atmosphere tonight for Houma Bayou Bucks game. With the city's really feeling it tonight as the Bayou Bucks trying to break even at the Houma Bayou Bucks 1-1, coming away with a 58-50 loss last week to Tupelo. And at Lake Charles, this is their first outing of the 2004 campaign.
2:54 is what shows on the clock as you get a look at Buckshot, the Bayou Buck mascot, having fun with the kids in the crowd and the youngsters. Always good to see that.
It was a great atmosphere, and this is what it's all focused towards, is the kids, the fans, and a lot of people having a good time out here tonight.
It'll be 1st and 10 Houma at the Lake Charles 12-yard line. Houma has 2 timeouts remaining. Lake Charles has 1 in case they need to turn to that avenue. As Coleman brings the Bayou Bucks to the line. Quick toss left side, incomplete near the goal line. Tried to get it to Lockett. Coverage provided by Anthony Whitehead.
Well, good defensive effort that time prevented, which could have been a short touchdown toss. Good delivery by Coleman, just couldn't find a mark. But
so Jack Phillips gives Coleman another play, and we'll see what they got up their sleeve here on 2nd and 10.
We'd be surprised to see Jarvis Dunn get his hands on the ball for one of these plays.
Dunn's in the backfield, 3 receivers left. Coleman drops, steps up, fires incomplete down near the 5 as he tried to get it to Kevin Hurd. Coverage again by Whitehead, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Hurd is a key receiver. Got to know where he is at all times. St. Junius has been kind of shadowing him a lot.
And we have reached the 2-minute warning. With 1:59 to go, the 2-minute warning. I'll let y'all dwell on that for a minute. And I tell you, Renee, it's now 3rd and 10, and Coach Jack Phillips and Doug Coleman, the quarterback, they've got to come up with something. You see them having conversation here, and they're saying, well, what play can we call? What can we do to be effective? And we do point out the clock will be a regular football clock, if you will. For the remainder of this half. And don't forget, at halftime, Renee Nato will catch up with Houma Bayou Buck head coach Jack Phillips for his thoughts and comments about the first half and what he thinks he needs to do to be successful in the second half. So Jack Phillips will be part of the halftime interview by Renee Nato.
Well, you know, he'll talk a little bit about what's been successful in the first half and looking forward what he may be doing with some new wrinkles he may try the second stanza. But you know, we talked to Tommy a little bit about this conference with Beaumont and Lake Charles and Tupelo and Waco, a very competitive conference. Teams that are pretty evenly matched, and as you can see right here, Tupelo showed some firepower last week, and a team that came in with a statement to make. Lake Charles has been really kept in check.
They reset the clock to 2 minutes, as I thought they might. And here we go, the last 2 minutes of the first half. Coleman under center on 3rd and 10. Coleman left side pass intended for Hurd, incomplete. Penalty flag. We could have defensive interference.
St. Julius might have got his hand on him as the pass was intended for Hurd. Hurd, kind of a tall receiver, 6 feet, and you can see right here he got a hand on him. And
a little more than a hand.
Hurd was helping out. Make sure that that handkerchief was coming down from Ross Smith.
That looked like a dance that you might want to do with the Bayou Bells. They were hooked up together there for longer than need be.
Doug Coleman with a lot of time and holding.
It'll be an automatic first down. 1:36 remaining here in the second quarter. Okay, it's a 6-yard penalty.
And again, on this series, I've been waiting for Jarvis Dunn to get his hand on the ball. He's been responsible for both touchdowns that the Bayou Bucks have put up in a 14-6 lead here at 1:36. Really can't talk many more about the great job that Rogers and Troy Davis and Matt DeRoche have done on the offensive line, giving time to Doug Coleman to complete those passes. And boy, they're facing quite a front, quite a formidable front.
First and goal from the Lake Charles 6-yard line. Here's the inside handoff to Betts, who's in at running back. He's going to get a pair of yards before St. Junius and Lee bring him down. As the Bucks went to the run with Timothy Betts slipping into the backfield. Big, strong guy, made a bunch of tackles early in the game. He was trying to run that one in. He picks up 2 yards, and it will be second and goal from the 4 with 1:10 to go here in the second quarter.
Got some guns on Timothy Betts, 6'2", 240-pound frame. Boy, I tell you, he's got a good head of steam, good body lean, and he's running downhill close to goal.
He's in the backfield again from the 4-yard line. He takes the ball again. Puts his head down and gets to the 3, maybe the 2, before Warren St. Junius again makes the tackle. And it'll be third and goal with 45 seconds to go, and the clock is running.
St. Junius has been all over the field. He's an all-league player 3 years in a row. Had a tryout with Vegas in Arena 1, Tommy. Led the league in interceptions in 2002 with 12 picks on the year, had 8 last year. But he's a very, very active defensive back, Warren St. Junius.
Third and goal. Coleman brings the Bayou Bucks to the line. Inside handoff to Betts again, and he won't get it. He's dropped again by St. Junius. Somebody ought to think about blocking him, and we've got 15 seconds to go and a timeout on the field by Houma. As Jack Phillips uses the timeout. And we'll see what he wants to come up with on fourth down with 13.2 seconds remaining here in the second quarter from the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center in Houma, Louisiana. And it looks like Chris Stropolo, the left-footed sidewinding place kicker for the Bayou Bucks, will come out on the field. Nice look at the crowd and taking in the ball game. Great atmosphere for the family and sports fans. You got to check out Bayou Bucks football whenever you have a chance. So Stropolo will come on. He has missed 1 field goal from 50 yards, 53 yards. And he's going to try this one from 17 yards. Only 8 feet between the uprights in the NIFL. Drew Email will hold. The snapper will be Ryan Rogers. Don't forget Renee Nato. We'll talk to Coach Jack Phillips at the halftime break. So Email will hold, and Stropolo will try to add to the 8-point Houma lead. 13.2 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Kick is up, and it is good. Stropolo puts it between the posts, and with 10.4 seconds to go, the Houma lead is now 11. They have stretched it out to 17-6. And the first points of the second quarter here comes on the 17-yard field goal by Chris Stropolo. And we've got 10.4 seconds to go before we get you to halftime here. It's a good job by Stropolo. He's listed as a 5'8", 185-pounder. Played his college football for the Nicholls State Colonels. And he'll kick off here. And we'll see what will happen. 10 seconds, a long time in indoor football on the 50-yard field. That youngster's got him a seat right on the wall on the sideline. Coach Jack Phillips giving some instructions to the players. Doesn't want anything crazy to happen here in the last 10 seconds of the second quarter. In return formation for Lake Charles will be number 10, Camille Batista, number 8, Kevin Marlborough. Marlborough from Opelousas, played at Long Beach. There's Marlborough giving some instructions. I don't think Lake Charles is quite certain as whether Strapola will kick this deep or squib kick it. We'll find out as Strapola is ready to go. And he hits a low squib kick bouncing on the carpet, picked up by Marlborough at the 10. Marlborough right side out to the midfield stripe. He's belted by Roger Green. And with 5.6 seconds, Lake Charles is going to get the run of play. Green made that stop. A little help from Coleman. And Freddie Harrison and the Landsharks are going to get the run of play. 17-6, Houma on top as we approach halftime. Head coach for Lake Charles is Kip Tejada. His 4th season, got a 37-9 overall record for the Landsharks. 5.6 seconds to go. Here we go. Harrison's ball is picked off by Drew Email deep in the secondary. And he tried to lateral, but he's tackled. Nice job in the secondary by Drew Email as Houma, defensive back, picks off Freddie Harrison as that concludes the first half. We do have a Houma player shake it up. Appears to be Timothy Betts as the athletic training staff will attend to him. As we'll try to wait and get you downstairs to Renee Nadeau. As he will look to grab head coach Jack Phillips. And Renee Nadeau's down in the end zone, and let's take you down there to Renee Nadeau and the head coach of the Houma Bayou Bucks, Jack Phillips.
We're here with Coach Jack Phillips. Jack, your offensive line gave Doug Coleman a lot of time, and your defense catch a very high-powered offense in checks thus far.
Well, and we're used to playing good defense, so we hope that we can just keep that up. Right now, we're nursing a couple of injuries, one on the offensive side of the ball with a second-string guy in now, and then just now, Timothy Best, our lead on defense. So we just hope we can keep it up. We like to put it in the end zone a couple more times. That's why we're taking some chances, so maybe we can force them into doing something that they don't want to do, maybe into the passing game and away from the running game. So we need a couple of more scores to do that, but that's our goal.
Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Coach Jack Phillips, back upstairs.
Houma Bayou Bucks 17, the Lake Charles Landsharks 6. We're at half at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center with Renee Nadeau. I'm Tommy Chrysan. Bayou Buck football on Cox Sports Television. Score, Houma Bayou Bucks 17, the Lake Charles Landsharks 6. And now, one of the better parts of the night in NIFL football, the top dance team in the National Indoor Football League, the Bayou Bells for the Houma Bayou Bucks. Let's enjoy the Bayou Bells. score, the Houma Bayou Bucks 17, the Lake Charles Landsharks 6. With Renee Nato, I'm Tommy Chrysan as we get set for the third quarter. Let's take a look at some highlights from back in the first half, a game that started off quickly. You see Doug Coleman getting the ball to Jarvis Dunn, who makes a nice move and gets into the end zone. Then a field goal by Clint Sanford from 43 yards. It's long enough and good, and our score was 7-3. Again, it's Coleman to Dunn as he steps up and fires. Then Dunn shows great effort to get the ball into the goal line, dragging a couple of defenders in there with him. And then the defense on the rise for Houma. Andre Reed makes the stop, and the field goal by Sanford, and that made it 14-6. And Stropolo added a field goal to make it 17-6, and that gets us to our halftime. The Houma Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, proud to be a sponsor of Bayou Bucks football. Check them out. They can let you know what's happening in the Houma area. The Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Renee Nato, and we're set for the third quarter. The Bayou Bucks will kick off. Lake Charles will receive and move right to left on the TV screen here in quarter number 3. Stropolo tees it up. Marlboro and Batiste deep for the Landsharks. Here's a low driving kick by Stropolo that'll bounce and be picked up by Marlboro deep in the end zone. Marlboro will work his way back out to about the 10, where he is greeted by Timothy Betts, who was shaken up on the last play of the half, but apparently he's okay because he makes the first tackle in the third quarter.
That was a nasty collision, and that was a good run back. Could have been really nasty as the ball was kind of mishandled at the 5-yard line. He made something out of nothing there. The ball was right outside down at the 10-yard line, and pretty good field position for what could have been the Lake Charles Landsharks.
And again, the Lake Charles quarterback, Freddie Harrison, 6'3", 190-pounder from Westlake, Louisiana, right outside of Lake Charles. And Northwestern State's Demons. He played some wide receiver in college. He's in the shotgun at quarterback for the Landsharks. 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line. Harrison on a quarterback draw wants to run. Gonna dance around, pick up some yardage, break into the open field. Harrison well into Bayou Buck territory before David Filial can run him out of bounds. It's a big, big gainer for the Landsharks on the first play from scrimmage of the third quarter.
And Freddie Harrison shows some improvising and some athleticism as he gets out of a sticky situation. Good block by Reggie Nelson on the left side. Allows him to scoot around the right side. Puts on the afterburners. And it had not been for this touchdown-saving tackle, they'd be kicking an extra point at this time.
All the way down to the 7-yard line. 32-yard run by Freddie Harrison. And the Landsharks looking to change the lights on the scoreboard here in the third quarter. Harrison going to run, turn it back to the middle, and dash into the end zone. Couple of nice cuts by Harrison. And Lake Charles quickly, only took him a minute and a half to get on the board here in the third quarter.
Another good run by Freddie Harrison. That was a design play. And Harrison does, as you alluded to, Tommy, change the scoreboard, 17-12. You see right here, following a good block, he cuts it back. Reggie Nelson downfield blocking, good cut, and into the end zone. Nice run by Freddie Harrison. Really showed some elusiveness on that last series.
We talked about his athleticism in the pregame and during the first half, and he has put it on display as he basically responsible for the entire 40 yards on that drive on 2 carries.
We also talked about some comparisons, if you will, to Randall Cunningham, and that shows some flashes of Randall Cunningham in the Philadelphia Eagles uniform back in his earlier years.
Clint Sanford on to attempt the extra point. He's 2 out of 3 in field goals. This is his first extra point attempt of the night. Harrison will hold. The kick is up, and it's between the posts. Our score with 13-19 to go third quarter is now Houma 17, Lake Charles 13, and Renee Nato, it'll be up to the Houma offense to answer the quick strike of Lake Charles here in the third quarter.
Renee came out firing the first 2 possessions in the first half and really lit it up, came back with a field goal a little later on. I think the defense of the Landsharks kind of figured out that offense of Doug Coleman and company. So it'll be it'll be pressure on Doug Coleman this series to really make a statement and see if they continue the offensive prowess they displayed in the first half.
So Sanford will kick it off. Deep back in return formation for the Bayou Bucks will be Sullivan Beard, the 5'11", 175-pounder, former colonel for Nichols State.
I tell you, Tommy, he gave him pretty good field position in the first half with some excellent returns and good blocking on special teams. We'll see if they follow the same pattern.
In the NIFL, if you can get it out to your 20 or beyond, again, the field's 50 yards long, the 25-yard line's the midfield stripe. You can get it out to your own 20 or beyond, it'd be comparable to getting it out to the 40 on a regulation field. So Beard has done that numerous times tonight, and the Bucks hope he can do it again. The Houma Bayou Bucks. A line drive kick as they try to keep it away, and it bounces into the stands and out of bounds over the wall into the crowd down there to get to keep the football in the NIFL that goes in the stands. A lucky fan gets to keep it. It's a souvenir and a nice one to take home.
Well, I tell you what, that's one happy young man. He won't sleep tonight. If he does, he'll have that football under the pillow, so he'll have a stiff neck tomorrow. But give it to Dad. That'd be the safest. Yeah, let me hold on to it for a while, right?
Dad thinks he's going to be a quarterback now.
Yeah, now go out, son. I'll show you what it was like when I was in high school.
Junior high.
Yeah, well, benefit of the doubt.
Anyway, so Jack Phillips and Doug Coleman will try to figure out what they want to do offensively here for the Bayou Bucks. And they're going to assess the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that occurred on the touchdown, I believe, when Harrison spiked the ball. It's always assessed on the first play after the kickoff. So what will happen here is the Houma Bayou Bucks will get the ball at their own 16-yard line, and they'll play 1st and 10 from that point. The Houma lead now 17-13 as we're just over 13 minutes to go in the third quarter.
We'll see if that offensive line for Houma can keep the same pattern they did, play good offensive front first half.
Jarvis Dunn, left side, dragged down after a very short gain. Warren Lott makes the stop, gain of maybe a yard for the Bayou Bucks.
He was helped out by Captain Darnell Lee, number 9, by Lake Charles. The duo collaborated on that tackle, short gain, 2nd and 9. And we'll see if you got to give Dunn the ball. He had 102 yards against Tupelo last week. He's that quicksilver running back that can really, make things happen from his running back position.
He's got both Houma touchdowns tonight, both coming in the first quarter. Here's Dunn on the pitch left. Short gain, couple of yards. Kendall Shello wraps him up and drops him after a gain of about a yard or so, and it'll be 3rd and long for Houma.
Matt DeRoche was doing his absolute best to block on Kendall Shello. Shello just stood him up. And you see right here, look, he's blocking on the right side. Shello just throws him aside like a peanut shell and just makes the stop. He's just not gonna knock down Kendall Shello with that 6'5", 295-plus frame.
3rd and 7 for Houma from their own 19-yard line. Coleman to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, steps up, fires complete to Schexnayder, 1st down and more. Schexnayder's tackled by Lott inside the 15, but it's good for a Houma 1st down.
And a big 6'3", 205 Houma native makes another big stop, made a big play in front of the hometown fans for a 1st down. You can see Coleman dropping back, gets flushed by Shello, but he keeps his eyes on the way the receivers are. That's the mark of a good veteran quarterback. And
good block there by Darian Chestnut. Watch on the comeback as he'll clean out Porter and helping Schexnayder get another couple of yards there. Good job blocking downfield in the secondary by Darian Chestnut. 1st and 10 from the 14 of Lake Charles. Coleman, flag flies as he dances around and fires it. Caught by Hurd, touchdown. But we have a flag. Let's get the call from the official. It is a touchdown pass of 14 yards from Coleman to Hurd, but we don't know if it'll stand. The penalty's against Lake Charles, so obviously Houma will decline that one, and they're on the board with the 14-yard touchdown as Coleman looked right, stepped up, had to do some dancing, thought he was a Bayou Bell, and then he fires it. Nice catch by Hurd, who cuts it into the end zone, and the Stropolo PAT is pending. Kevin Hurd on the catch.
Coleman with his 3rd touchdown toss of the night. He had 5 last week against Tupelo, so he's off to a great start with that toss to Kevin Hurd.
Email will hold. Rogers will snap it, and the left footer Stropolo will kick it. And he's got it between the posts. The kick is good. With 10:43 to go in the third quarter, Houma does answer the Lake Charles scores. The teams have swapped touchdowns here in the first 4+ minutes of the third quarter, as it's been offense after the halftime adjustments.
That was a good statement by the offense, Doug Coleman. Jack Phillips with a nice game plan. He came out at halftime, talked a little bit about some of the wrinkles, need to keep it going and need to keep pace with a high-powered Landshark offense. That's exactly what they did.
Let's take another look at the touchdown pass here. Again, it was good for 14 yards.
Doug Coleman stepping back, buying some time, flushed out by Kendall Shello. Again, keeping his vision downfield, finding her with a very acrobatic catch. Balances himself into the end zone for the touchdown, and Hurd, wow, he's celebrating in a Houma Civic Center.
10:43 to go, third quarter. The lead was 11 points at the half. We are back at that point, 24-13, as both teams have gotten touchdowns and extra points in the first 4+ minutes of the third period. And Stropolo will kick off. Batista and Marlboro deep for Lake Charles.
Both coaches, Tommy, talked earlier how special teams will be a vital part of this game. And, you know, special teams coverage by both teams has been big, has been huge. But I think Houma has done a good job on returns and coverage. I'd have to give the advantage to the Bayou Bucks.
Low kick by Stropolo. Marlboro from the 11. Center of the field, twisting and turning, and he'll get it to about midfield before he's belted by a couple of Bayou Bucks and brought down on the play by Matt DeRoche. Get a look at big Matt, number 90, former Nichols State player.
And he's done a yeoman's job blocking on the offensive front all game long, giving Doug Coleman time to complete those passes. And you saw he did a pretty good job. He's really been struggling with Kendall Shello, but been holding his own.
I missed the penalty flag, but we had one. 6-yard holding penalty against So they'll step off some real estate against Lake Charles after the decent return by Marlboro. They're going to put the ball all the way back at the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from that point. A little over 10.5 minutes to go. Third quarter from the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center.
That sportsmanlike conduct assessed against the Landsharks. Will push him back. They're 10.
Harrison hands off to Byron Allen, who'll be hit and dropped. Maybe a gain of 1. Andre Reed and Timothy Betts over there to make the stop, as well as David Dorsey.
The one thing about a good defensive player, it's just easy to get caught up in movement and stuff. They stayed at home, followed the defensive scheme, and an outstanding play by Dorsey and Betts.
We'll give Byron Allen a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. Freddie Harrison in the shotgun for Lake Charles, sends his men in motion. There's a keeper by Harrison who's got nowhere to go, and he's dropped by Roger Green. Good job by Roger Green to hold his ground.
Roger Green with that 6'3", 295-pound frame, really moving very well, and would not be, you can see he's kept his balance, shoulders squared, and just ran down a very elusive Freddie Harrison, Roger Green. The heart and soul of that defense, clogs the middle. He was at All-Atlantic Conference 2 years in a row, and wow, what a good job, number 50, Roger Green.
Former Southern University Jaguar. On 3rd and 10, Harrison to throw. Long over the middle, and it is picked off in the secondary by Sullivan Beard. Beard on his feet, into Landshark territory. Beard will take it all the way. What a run by Sullivan Beard as he goes some 37 yards with the INT, and Houma back on the scoreboard. What an effort by Sullivan Beard.
You know, Tommy, he went back to his wide receiver days, and you can see an outstanding interception by Sullivan Beard. Brings it down right here, and he's all of a sudden he goes from defense to offense. Good balance right here, breaking a tackle, and speed comes into play right here. Good block downfield. Got to credit outstanding defensive play and nice blocking downfield.
Good adjustment by the defensive guys to turn around and start blocking when Beard came up with the INT. Here's the extra point by Stropolo. email will hold. Snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up. And it is no good. A little bit wide to the left. With 8 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the third period, our score, the Houma Bayou Bucks 30, the Lake Charles Landsharks 13. As you get another look at Sullivan Beard. What an athletic play by the 5'11", 175-pounder. Doing the job for Coach Jack Phillips and the Bayou Bucks. With Renee Nadeau, my name's Tommy Chrysan. We're back after this pause on Cox Sports Television.
Houma Terrebonne, a community steeped in its roots and culture, but fully engaged in economic growth and planning for its future. A fun place to live, great quality of life, amenities, shopping, good schools, and training. Houma Terrebonne has immediate needs for skilled labor. Call the Louisiana Department of Labor at 985-857-3640. 985-857-3640. Houma Terrebonne, a charming blend of culture, heritage, industry, and commerce. Seward Workover and Seward Barge, serving the Gulf Coast for over 20 years and with over 80 barges to serve your inland water needs. Seward Workover has rigs for your inland water and land well needs and can take care of all of your plug and abandonment, completion workover, and drilling needs. Big company service with small company prices. Call Seward Barge and Seward Workover and keep more money in your company's pocket. Call 532-5300.
Houma extends the lead to 30-13 with Renee Nadeau. My name's Tommy Chrysan. Chris Stropolo will tee it up. As you get a look at Buckshot, the mascot
That was
for the Houma Bayou Bucks.
Excuse me, Tommy Sullivan Beard with 80 receptions last year, 2 coming against Lake Charles, and 1 for a touchdown. What a great second half start here for Houma Bayou Bucks.
Stropolo will kick off. St. Junius now joins Batiste deep back for Lake Charles, and they're not anticipating a deep kick. They're standing at their own 10.
We got to give credit where credit's due. Drew Email with a nice block enabled Sullivan Beard to get into the end zone. Had it not been for that block, perhaps he may not have made it.
I'm assuming that's a cheerleader. I'd rather look at the Bayou Bells.
Well, he's wired, isn't he?
Maybe some of our female audience out there would like that cheerleader.
He's wired, buddy.
And the refs are holding it up. I don't know what for, but Stropolo, he's ready to go. I don't know why they're holding things up. Let's play some football.
Can't be a TV, Tom.
We're TV, and we're ready to go. Jack Phillips, you see right there, head coach of the Bayou Bucks. He's ready to go. But the only people not ready are the guy in the striped shirts. Okay, here we go. Now we're set. 8:34 to go, third quarter. 30-13 Houma on shot. Top of Lake Charles. The ball off of St. Junius's hands and out of play. They'll get the ball at their own 5-yard line. Lake Charles, who now finds themselves in a spot they haven't been in tonight. That is down 17 points. The biggest margin so far.
They find themselves in a very unfamiliar position as Lake Charles has done an outstanding job last year. 12-2 in a very well-rounded program year in and year out. Again, lost last year to the in the semifinals to Ohio Valley. What a difference Freddie Harrison has made from his transition last year to this campaign.
1st and 10, Lake Charles from their own 5-yard line. Handoff Byron Allen left side. He's got a small hole. He picks up about 5 yards before he's tackled by Thalamus Rogers.
That's a good play. Give it Byron Allen and give one of the foot soldiers some opportunities to move the ball down the field. I know the Bayou Bucks are going to be looking for a 6-yard pickup, looking for some comeback as they trail by 13 points and Lake Charles goes to the ground. Has some success. Byron Allen, great vision.
17.
17, yes.
30-13. 2nd and 4. Harrison, play action to throw. Gonna go long over the middle, overthrows everybody. Good coverage in the secondary by Philyaw and Beard. And it'll set up a 3rd down for Lake Charles.
Marlboro looking at double coverage. And, Beard had him high and you know, they had him high and low, and so he just couldn't outrun the coverage. Phil Yaw with good coverage as well, and being one interception for a touchdown thus far in the last possession.
Clock's running, shows about 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Big third down play. The Houma defense digs in. Harrison flips it in the flat. It is caught for a very short gain over there. Tony Citizen makes the catch, and he's quickly stopped by Dorsey and Roger Green. David Dorsey, 6'2", 235 pounds, former member of the Tulane Green Wave.
Well, he really did a good job when he was with the Green Wave, and is carried right over here to the Bayou Bucks. And got to credit Roger Green for a 6'3", 295-pounder. He's all over the field, and it shows why.
I told you before the game, he's an old guy, but he can still move around a little bit.
Man, he moves.
Roger Green's also got the biggest calf of anybody in this building.
Well, he'll play a little fullback.
If we get one of our camera guys to catch Roger, the size of Roger Green's calf, I can assure you they're the biggest ones in the building.
Better hit it with a wide limb.
Look like he got a softball stitched in there. Fourth down. Lake Charles going to go for it. 4th and 1. Byron Allen right side. I believe he's got it, and he does. Hit by Dorsey, but he was able to lunge forward across the 15 and pick up the Landshark first down.
The penetration by Dorsey couldn't stop him from momentum, gaining first down territory. You can see good blocking on the right side, running with his vision, and picks up the necessary first down territory. Byron Allen, and again, they made comparisons to a Marshall Folk with his vision. Marshall Folk, obviously one of the better runners in NFL history because of his vision and athletic ability.
1st and 10, Lake Charles from their own 16-yard line. Quick pass left side to Pierce. He will get 2, maybe 3 yards. He's quickly wrapped up and dropped on the play by David Philyaw, the former Troy State Trojan.
Trying to set up a quick screen as Castillo slipped over up in front. Looking at a second down situation.
Gain 2, so it'll be 2nd and 8.
Talked about Reggie Nelson, Tommy, one of the offensive linemen for Lake Charles. Number 76 was a 6th-round draft pick of the San Diego Chargers. Also spent some time with the Green Bay Packers, former McNeese State All-American. I remember when he came out of McNeese, he was one of the most highly touted linemen in college.
2nd and 8. Harrison pumps, carries it in the middle, and he's dragged down by Andre Reeves, who did a good job closing down on Freddie Harrison.
Well, Reed really did a good job, dual purpose there. He elevated and prevented Harrison from completing a pass. He comes down and finds enough athletic ability to make the tackle as well. So, wow, it pulled double duty in that last play.
Very athletic play by Andre Reed. 3rd down. We'll call it 3rd and 5 for the Landsharks from their own 21. Harrison is hit and dropped. Reed again makes the play defensively for Houma as he collapsed the pocket and then collapsed Freddie Harrison. Reed, who's 6'4", 270-pounder, you get a look at it, he just comes in and drops Harrison to the carpet.
He beat Major Griffin.
And I believe Harrison is shaken up, and Lake Charles does not have another quarterback listed on the roster. It'll be interesting to see what direction they go in if, in fact, Harrison, who is going to have to come out for at least one play according to the rules, appears to be his right ankle, right leg, right knee. That was on the side when Andre Reed pulled him down. 3:49 to go. 3rd quarter. Houma on top of Lake Charles, 30-13. We're back after this pause on Cox Sports Television.
Houma Terrebonne, a community steeped in its roots and culture, but fully engaged in economic growth and planning for its future. A fun place to live, great quality of life, amenities, shopping, good schools, and training. Houma Terrebonne has immediate needs for skilled labor. Call the Louisiana Department of Labor at 985-857-3640. 985-857-3640. Houma Terrebonne, a charming blend of culture, heritage, industry, and commerce. Seward Workover and Seward Barge. Serving the Gulf Coast for over 20 years and with over 80 barges to serve your inland water needs. Seward Workover has rigs for your inland water and land well needs and can take care of all of your plug and abandonment, completion workover, and drilling needs. Big company service with small company prices. Call Seward Barge and Seward Workover and keep more money in your company's pocket. Call 532-5300.
Freddie Harrison, the Lake Charles quarterback, helped off of the field. Does not look like he would be able to return. As we'll take a look at what might have happened here as Andre Reeves will collapse the pocket from the left side of your screen. And I believe somewhere in the right leg area, hey, you see he rolled up on his ankle. Did Reed unintentionally, of course, but in the process of dropping Harrison, got on that ankle pretty hard. And you don't like to see that, but that's what happens sometimes in the game of football.
And that turf doesn't give very much, Tommy. Your shoes kind of get stuck in there, and Freddie Harrison, we hope it's not a severe injury. Sometimes it could be just a sprain, but I would expect they may lose his services for the remainder of the game as they talk to Darnell Lee about maybe.
He might be the next quarterback, I don't know. Anyway, Clint Sanford's going to try a very long field goal. We'll call it another 43-yarder. The right-footed soccer-style kicker is 2 out of 3 in field goals tonight. Kick is up, and it's not going to be long enough, and it's wide to the right. So that is no good. And the Houma defense does the job with 3:44 to go third quarter. Bayou Bucks on top 30-13, and we'll get another look at Doug Coleman and the offense for Nato. It's been pretty much happening here in the third quarter, although one of the touchdowns for Houma came with the Sullivan Beard interception, but the offense has looked good. A lot better in the third quarter than they did in the second.
Well, they struck pay dirt early in the second half, which they did. Kind of repeated the performance in the first half. But Doug Coleman can't overemphasize his athleticism and veteran leadership. Has really done a good job. He's not thrown into bad situation. He's been very patient, going through his progressions, and credit the offensive line. Can't say enough about the job they've done, given him time.
Had a little problem with the clock. They weren't running it, and now they'll chop it in. Here we go. 1st and 10, Houma from their own 5-yard line. Jarvis Dunn in the backfield behind Doug Coleman. 17-point lead for the Bayou Bucks. Dunn on the handoff will be dropped by Kendall Shello. Loss of a couple of yards as Shello was in the backfield very quickly.
Well, he can dominate, and he's got in the backfield. He has penetrated through a lot of the night, through evening, Tommy, but these, unfortunately for Houma, they've gotten away from, they have eluded his grasp, but Shello really can dominate and misdirect the play from where he is.
Loss of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11. Houma from their own 4-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Glad to have you tuned in to Cox Sports Television. Coleman throws from his end zone. Scrambles. Flag flies as Coleman will pick up about 5 or 6 up the right sideline before he's belted down by Anthony Porter. But we've got flags, as I mentioned.
Well, when you have in that area, you're probably going to have holding on one of the offensive players.
Coleman got back into the end zone. You're correct, Renee. It's holding on Houma. He wanted to throw from the end zone, but ended up having to run. As the referees will talk to the Lake Charles players as Jack Phillips will bark some offensive instructions. Half the distance to the goal to remain 2nd down. It'll now be 2nd and 12, just over 12 for the Bayou Bucks. That little guy's a little tired. He's seen enough football. Dad's still checking it out. Great place for the family. Houma Terrebonne Civic Center and Bayou Buck football.
And you know, tomorrow morning when he talks to his dad about what kind of night they had, he'll say, "You really enjoyed it, son." He got everything out of tonight he could possibly get and fell asleep in the process.
Here's the 2nd down play. Coleman from his end zone. Under pressure, fires over the middle, incomplete. Tried to get it to Chestnut out near the 15, and it'll be 3rd down. Pressured by Shello. as well as Mike Warren for the Landsharks.
That was a very dangerous pass, throwing across the bow and trying to get a crossing chestnut and nearly intercepted. Be looking at 3rd and 13.
Jack Phillips will give the play to Doug Coleman to get a look at the nice crowd on hand here.
The locals have really supported the Houma Bayou Bucks, and the home opener, you know, with 6 more games at home, it plans to get bigger and bigger. So if you want to come out and catch a Houma Bayou Bucks game, tune in for the next game, which would be April 3rd.
Coleman under pressure, has to move around, fires complete to Schexnayder. First down, Houma out to the 19-yard line. Big 3rd down conversion, Coleman to Schexnayder.
Doug Coleman just stood his ground, waited for the right moment to deliver the pass to Schexnayder. Stood strong in the pocket. Nice little throw, nice little flip.
That's the experience of indoor football, Doug Coleman. He doesn't get rattled back there. He knows he can move around and find a receiver. He's got good ability to see the entire field, so that's experience paying off right there for Doug Coleman.
And he's going through his progressions and knowing what receivers open. He's got great peripheral vision and picked up Schexnayder.
On 1st and 10, Coleman again under pressure. Steps up, Coleman finds Schexnayder again for another 1st down to the Lake Charles 15-yard line. Again, excellent work by the quarterback, Doug Coleman, as he finds Clint Schexnayder.
He pulled a little Houdini here, a la Fran Tarkenton, and how he got out of that, I'll never know. But Doug Coleman, you see, steps right between 2 would-be tacklers, looks downfield, and good ball faking, freezes defensive play and finds Schexnayder for back-to-back completions for another 1st down.
And I believe that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. A very nice 3rd quarter for the Houma Bayou Bucks as they extend their lead. They now lead the Lake Charles Landsharks by a score of 30-13 as we'll head to the 4th quarter with Renee Nadeau. I'm Tommy Chrysan. Houma Bayou Bucks football on Cox Sports Television.
Houma Terrebonne, a community steeped in its roots and culture, but fully engaged in economic growth and planning for its future. A fun place to live, great quality of life, amenities, shopping, good schools, and training. Houma Terrebonne has immediate needs for skilled labor. Call the Louisiana Department of Labor at 985-857-3640. 985-857-3640. Houma Terrebonne, a charming blend of culture, heritage, industry, and commerce. Seward Workover and Seward Barge, serving the Gulf Coast for over 20 years and with over 80 barges to serve your inland water needs. Seward Workover has rigs for your inland water and land well needs and can take care of all of your plug and abandonment, completion workover, and drilling needs. Big company service with small company prices. Call Seward Barge and Seward Workover and keep more money in your company's pocket. Call 532-5300.
Spring is here, and Cox Sports Television is loaded. Follow the Hornets in April as they make their playoff run with 7 games right here on CST.
Hey, don't forget, Thursday night, 6 o'clock, the New Orleans Hornets and the Atlanta Hawks NBA action. The pregame at 6 o'clock, the tip-off is at 6:30. Your exclusive network of all New Orleans Hornets basketball is Cox Sports Television. Check them out against the Hawks in NBA Eastern Conference action. 30-13, Houma on top of Lake Charles as we head to the 4th quarter. And Houma has the football at the Landshark 15-yard line with Renee Nadeau. My name is Tommy Chrysan. Glad to have you tuned in to Cox Sports Television.
Houma looking to pad that 30-13 lead as we begin the 4th and final stanza.
Coleman to throw, moves right, looks, fires, caught by Hurd, who'll dive it into the end zone. What an effort by Kevin Hurd, and Houma is putting it to Lake Charles. A 15-yard touchdown pass, Coleman to Hurd.
And Doug Coleman performs his mastery, dropping back, looking for a receiver, finds Hurd, and he does it all on individual effort right here with a great leap into the end zone. Touchdown, Bayou Bucks.
He did a good job after that catch to get it into the end zone. Strapolo on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Drew Email. and add yet another point on the board. Just announcing the eligible receivers on the end position of the kickoff extra point team. They had the wrong numbers. They just became eligible, but pretty sure Stopolo will try to kick it between the posts. And he does. Our score with 14:28 to go in the fourth quarter is now Houma Bayou Bucks 37, the Lake Charles Landsharks 13 on that 15-yard pass from Doug Coleman to Kevin Hurd, as Houma has taken the momentum and taken charge here in the second half after leading at the halftime by 11 points.
A 24-point advantage for the home folks are really jacked up as Ryan Rogers and company just
It'll be interesting to see what Lake Charles does from the quarterback situation here with Harrison being hurt. Don't forget, hey, when the Bucks were at home, they were 7-0 here last year in the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center. 7-0, trying to make that 8 games in a row and 1-0 in 2004. And right now that looks good, but there's lots of time left. 14 minutes and 28 seconds to go in indoor football is a very, very long time.
You know, in a short field, Tommy, there's a lot can happen. Electricity in the air. As not only do the Lake Charles Landsharks find themselves with a 24-point disadvantage, now they have to find themselves a signal call to direct their offense.
I don't think Freddie Harrison can return. He sprained his right ankle. But we'll find out shortly if the Landsharks run an offensive play. St. Junius and Pierce, Aaron Pierce deep back. Here's the kickoff taken by the upback Corey Stewart. Stewart will run across the field and run out of room as he's brought down by Thalamus Rogers and Timothy Betts. And we'll see what Lake Charles does about the quarterback spot. I believe it's going to be number 9, Darnell Lee, who's 6'1", 220 pounds, listed as a linebacker on the Lake Charles roster, but
you know, one reason I think they'll go to Darnell Lee is he's like a coach on the field. Very mature, has respect of his teammates on defense, but he can run that offense if need be. Seen it all.
And I think we're going to see a lot of running plays, if for no other reason. He's got gloves on both hands.
Yeah.
Although some quarterbacks nowadays can throw it just as well with the glove on, but I got a feeling we're going to see some running plays. Well, what do I know is he's going to throw it on the first play, and the ball will be batted down in the secondary by Sullivan Beard, intended for Marlboro near the 10, and it's safe to say that that pass looked like it was thrown by someone who had a glove on.
Well, that was a little ugly, Tommy. And you know, I saw a couple of guys pull a couple of rifles out, and it was a duck season. But
you got to watch it this neck of the woods for that stuff. They shoot that ball out of the air before it hits its peak.
I pull out some rifles, it'd be hunting season.
Speaking of buckshot.
Oh, wow.
Here we go, 2nd and 10 from their own 23. Lake Charles with the football. Here's the handoff to Byron Allen, and Betts will greet him and drop him after a 4-yard gain. Got a little help from Alex Coleman as well.
Uphill battle by the Landsharks, trailing by 24 points, 37-13. And now, without their quarterback, Freddie Harrison, they have to improvise a little bit. And, you know, Lee is the kind of guy, he'll make things happen. Good enough athlete. He's all-league 3 years. Unfortunately, he was on defense.
He's at quarterback, and it's 3rd down and 6. He'll throw again. He'll scramble left. He's dropped. He's sacked. Roger Green, Alex Coleman, and David Dorsey led the charge as they drop Lee for a big loss. And it'll be 4th down as we get a look at the replay. Lee never really had a chance as Dorsey, Coleman, and Green all got there.
And Dorsey's mopped up as really didn't give Darnell Lee really much time to go anywhere, maneuvering. Didn't have much time to look up the field. You know, not being a quarterback by nature, it's
difficult.
It's difficult. He's not going to be looking at the field. He's going to be looking to protect himself, and he will be looking at the pressure coming from all over. So that offensive line is going to be a job now to give him time.
Field goal attempt from 43 yards by Clint Sanford, the Sulphur, Louisiana native. Marlboro holds. Sanford hits it high and long enough, but it's wide to the left. No good. And the Houma defense, once again, does the job and comes up with the stop. Renee Nato, 11:44 to go in the game. You got a 24-point lead. Do you run the ball a little bit? The clock runs anyway in the NIFL here, but just try to slowly move it down the field. No need to go for the big strike. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, something you said a second ago, Tom, there's a lot of time, 11:44 remaining. A lot of things can happen. Yeah, they may slow it down a little bit. I don't think they'll take the air out of the football, but you go to what has worked, and Doug Coleman has had a lot of success passing the ball. I don't think they're going to go strictly to a run game. I think they'll keep doing with what's worked and what's got them here thus far, 37 points.
Troy Davis, the big center, out over the football. As Coleman will get under center on first down, 1st and 10. Houma from their own 5-yard line. Play action. What do we know? Coleman goes long, looking for Hurd, who's got it at the 3. Touchdown. 45-yard touchdown pass. Doug Coleman to Kevin Hurd, and a quick strike.
His 5th touchdown of the game duplicates the effort last week. Kevin Hurd with back-to-back touchdown catches from Doug Coleman.
Here we are talking about running, talking about not going for the big strike. That's why we're announcers and not coaches, because Coleman lets it fly up the right side on a well-thrown ball. Good adjustment by Hurd. And Houma is once again on the scoreboard, changing the lights up there.
Well, that's what I was saying. You really don't change what's got you here, and their passing attack has worked. I couldn't see them going strictly to a run game, and that's why I didn't think they'd maybe come back with a quick strike, but I knew the passing game, you know, Doug Coleman's going to stick with that.
The extra point blocked. Warren Lott came in and blocked the PAT by Strapola. Ball's covered up by Email, and our score will remain 43-13. It's a 30-point Houma lead, and Renee Nato, to say the least, the Bayou Bucks are in control.
Yeah, and they're going to keep trying to put some points on the scoreboard, assuming anything can happen with the Landsharks. They are a potent offense. They did lose their field general, Freddie Harrison, but they do have other weapons. I suspect they could get on a scoreboard again and make this into a contest with 10:47 remaining.
Get a look at the Bayou Bells, getting the crowd fired up. Here's the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center crowd, very happy to have a 30-point lead. In the home opener, again, as we mentioned a little while ago, Houma 7-0 at home last season. Looking to keep that streak rolling. For all the information, go to www.bayoubucks.com. That's the official website of the Houma Bayou Bucks. All the information you need is right there at www.bayoubucks.com.
You got to credit Houma with really a complete game thus far, offensively, defensively, and special teams. They've done it all in all 3 phases.
Strapolo kicks off, taken by Stewart, who'll get it into Bayou Buck territory before Rogers brings him down. And Lake Charles will get the ball trailing by 30 points. We're in the 4th quarter, 10:40 remaining.
Dalmas Rogers with his 2nd special teams tackle on consecutive kickoffs, and he's done a good job on special teams.
Again, Darnell Lee is the new Lake Charles Landshark quarterback. 6'1", 220-pounder, played at McNeese State. He's from Gonzales, Louisiana.
You know, good athletes rise to the occasion, and I would have to think that somewhere in his career, Darnell Lee has taken snaps at quarterback. It's been probably some time before he's experienced he's getting right now.
There's some penalty flags. There's the offensive lineman Griffin, Major Griffin, got going a little too early for the Landsharks.
And Griffin, 6'4", 325, has been a key component in the offensive line. He walked into camp, started in 2003, and has carried over.
10 minutes to go in the game. 1st and 13 for Lake Charles. The ball laying on the midfield stripe. Lee drops, quarterback draw. Roger Green will wrestle him down after a gain of 3. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Roger Green again makes the play defensively.
You know, Roger Green is like a Doug Coleman on defense. He recognizes, he doesn't waste any movement, and he knows where he's going. He recognizes things very quickly. He had an idea where Darnell Lee was heading, and you know, he just takes good angles. He doesn't waste a lot of steps, and this is why he's been playing forever. Very intelligent guy.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Lake Charles from the Houma 22. Lee wants to throw, flips it left side to Byron Allen. He catches it as a flag flies, and he won't even get back to the line of scrimmage as David Dorsey and company, Roger Green, Andre Reed, they all make the stop. But we do have a flag on the far side.
Good pursuit by the defense.
I'll tell you what, there's not a flag. Something fell out of the stands over there. No flag is Jack Phillips, happy with his team's play here on the home opener in 2004.
That was it. First down marker was dropped.
That's what I thought was the flag, so we'll proceed with a 3rd and 10. 8:20 to go in the game. Lee from the shotgun. Throws it over the middle, incomplete. He underthrew St. Junius, the intended receiver. And another souvenir for a fan. Because when the ball bounces into the stand and it's in the NIFL, you get to keep it. Doug Coleman keeping his legs loose, riding a stationary bike near the Houma bench.
Well, he's
put up Buckshot. Some of these passes getting in the air. Buckshot line will jump up and hit one. Some wobbly passes, and that's being nice.
Doug Coleman can't wait to get back on the field and see if he can add to this 43-point performance by the Houma Bayou Bucks.
7.5 minutes to go in the game. Lee to throw. Blitz is on. Lee goes long down the right side, incomplete. As the players crash into the Houma bench. And that was a 4th down play. It's another stop for the Houma defense. And it's going to be Houma football. The offense will get another crack. 7:18 to go in the game. Houma in control as the Bayou Bucks lead the Lake Charles Landsharks 43-13 with Renee Nadeau. My name is Tommy Chrysan. We're back after this pause on Cox Sports Television.
Houma Terrebonne, a community steeped in its roots and culture, but fully engaged in economic growth and planning for its future. A fun place to live, great quality of life, amenities, shopping, good schools, and training. Houma Terrebonne has immediate needs for skilled labor. Call the Louisiana Department of Labor at 985-857-3640. 985-857-3640. Houma Terrebonne, a charming blend of culture, heritage, industry, and commerce. Seward Workover and Seward Barge, serving the Gulf Coast for over 20 years and with over 80 barges to serve your inland water needs. Seward Workover has rigs for your inland water and land well needs and can take care of all of your plug and abandonment, completion workover, and drilling needs. Big company service with small company prices. Call Seward Barge and Seward Workover and keep more money in your company's pocket. Call 532-5300.
43-13, Houma, the Bayou Bucks on top of the Lake Charles Landsharks. Crowd getting into the music and the dancers and the Bayou Bells here at the Houma Terrebonne Civic Center in Houma, Louisiana. 1st and 10, Houma, they take over after the 4th down play was unsuccessful. They got the ball on their own 23-yard line with 7:18 to go.
Very festive atmosphere, Tommy. Glad to be a part of this and glad everybody's enjoying the game here at Cox Sports Television.
And I'm not going to try to predict plays again. The last time I tried that, couldn't have been more wrong.
You look like you taught that guy some dance steps.
No, I didn't teach him that, I can assure you.
Tommy Chrysan dance school of dance. Here, this guy is.
Yeah, that's who I taught.
One of your proteges.
Hey, that looks like Fred Astaire. Wasn't he a dancer?
Yeah.
I knew that. All right, come on, referees. So we'll see what Doug Coleman in the Houma offense has in mind for the final 7-18 with a 30-point lead. Coleman wants to throw. Fires over the middle, incomplete. Tried to get it to Schexnayder down near the 15-yard line, but it did not work, slightly underthrown.
I think you're mixing a little more running attack here, but basically their successes come through the passing of Joe Clark, the offensive coordinator, again, we talked about, done such a great job in the NFL Europe and with the Green Bay Packers as a quarterback coach with Brett Favre and company, and that's his bread and butter. So they've pretty much switched the offense from run attack to passing attack this year.
2nd and 10 for Houma from their own 23-yard line. Coleman pitches to Dunn, who will run left. Dunn gets maybe a yard. Kendall Shello puts him into the wall along with Darnell Lee. And it'll set up a 3rd down. No gain on the play, we'll call it. 3rd and 10.
Kendall Shello, very athletic guy, and he's been around. We talked, he was in NFL camps and spent some time with the Philadelphia Soul Arena 1 and been a very dominant figure at this level, but he's been Houma has just eluded his grasp on many tackles thus far this evening.
Coleman rolls to his right. He looks, he pumps it, and Shello will get him down. No gain. Correction, that was Mike Warren on that tackle. Warren, a 6'4", 285-pounder, former McNeese State Cowboy. It's 4th down, and Stropolo will come out and try a very long field goal. This will be a 42-yarder. Email will hold. Rogers will snap. Stropolo will try to put another 3 spot on the board for Houma. Snap is back. The kick is low, not going to be good, as it'll bounce around and go out of play. It was slightly tipped with the line, I do believe. 5:01 to go in the ball game. Houma on top of Lake Charles, 43-13. Then Renee Nato, I don't know that Lake Charles can come up with enough offense. 5 minutes, a long time in indoor football, but I don't know if they got the firepower after losing their quarterback, Freddie Harrison, back in the 3rd quarter to an injury late in the 3rd quarter.
Well, I don't think they have a 30-point play, Tommy, but you know, they can probably try to nick away, and Darnell Lee's going to try to do the most that he can. Yeah, his forte as an athlete, he's going to try to make plays and he's got a pretty good foot soldier in Byron Allen, but you know, Houma right now with a pretty good cushion and playing heads-up defense, and really kept his high-powered Landshark offense in check all this evening thus far with just 4:45 remaining.
Darnell Lee at quarterback, 1st and 10, Lake Charles from their own 5-yard line. There's a handoff to Byron Allen left side. Allen charges ahead for a 1st down and more before Rogers brings him down, as he picked up 12 yards. Good hard running by Byron Allen. Also in on that stop for Houma, David Filyaw and Alex Coleman.
That was good north-south running, good body lean, running downhill, and good blocking by Reginald Nelson on the left side. Again, we mentioned former draft pick of the San Diego Chargers, spent some time with the Green Bay Packers. Was an all-league and all-conference performer at McNeese State.
It was a 13-yard gain by Allen. 1st and 10. There's a pitch to Allen that gets away. He'll go back and smartly cover it up on the 4-yard line. That's a perfect example.